Imagine our DNA as a perfect blueprint for the body. When this blueprint is damaged, cells begin to behave abnormally, which can lead to diseases, with cancer being a prime example. Barbara O'Neill, a renowned expert in natural health, shared the view that poor hygiene and an insufficient diet play a significant role in the development of diseases today. According to her, DNA damage is the primary factor leading to the development of cancer and many other health issues. However, she also emphasizes the good news that the human body has the ability to heal itself if we provide the right environment and food. In this video, you will explore miraculous foods that can help protect your DNA and powerful herbs that can enhance immunity. The body has an amazing self-healing mechanism, and proper care with a healthy diet can help restore health and maintain balance within the body. Warning: your bedroom could be a source of cancer and DNA damage. Change it now.
That genetic code inside every cell. Did you know that if you pull that DNA out, it's 2 meters long? Let's have a look at the DNA. I think we've all seen illustrations of it. 23 chromosomes from our mother. My mother's chromosomes determine I have blue eyes. 23 chromosomes from our father. My father's chromosomes determine that I'm short. That at 61 I still have brown hair. We do it with each other, we do it with our brothers and our sisters and our children and our aunts and our uncles and our grandparents. It's always a fascinating subject to see which line comes through in each person. When you address that DNA and look what it's made up of, the crossword bands are made up of amino acids. And amino acids, very simply, is a breakdown from the protein that we eat. It's like a veritable library, this DNA. And if you were to put all the information into alphabetical language, it would fill 1,000 pages with 1,000 books and 1,000 letters on each page. That's incredible, isn't it? What about the outward strands? They're made up of polysaccharides. Polysaccharides simply means many sugars. Basically, polysaccharides is in just about everything that we eat. Our grains, our legumes, our nuts, our seeds, our fruits and vegetables, many sugars. And the substance that glues these amino acid strands to the outside bands of the polysaccharides is minerals. And the food that is the highest in minerals is vegetables. And the vegetable that is the highest in minerals is your dark green leafy vegetables. Hippocrates, called the father of medicine, he made a statement that's often quoted. He said, "Let food be your medicine and medicine be your food." And he did not know about the DNA. He did not know that our very food makes up our DNA. And when I look at some supermarket trolleys, I think, how will their DNA ever remake them properly? Because the very nutrients required to make this DNA are deficient in your foods that are deficient, like all your fast food. But foods that are grown in the ground and eaten very quickly after they've been picked are very high in these basic things.
Chemicals can be another important cause of disease and pose a threat to public health. Every year, thousands of new chemicals are introduced into consumer products, including food, cosmetics, cleaning agents, and other industrial products. These chemicals are often not considered as drugs, but many studies have shown that they can have long-term negative effects on health. Synthetic chemicals often exist in consumer products we encounter daily. These substances can enter the body through ingestion, inhalation, or direct skin contact. In many cases, they can accumulate in the body and cause serious health problems such as cancer, hormonal disorders, allergies, and other diseases. Uncontrolled use and exposure to these chemicals can increase the risk of illness. A simple yet effective way to minimize the risks from chemicals is to choose organic products, especially fruits and vegetables. Organic products typically do not contain synthetic chemicals such as pesticides and chemical fertilizers. They provide natural nutrition and reduce the risk of exposure to harmful chemicals. By prioritizing organic food, we not only protect our own health, but also help protect the environment. One important point to note is that although chemicals can alter the form and location of the disease, they do not truly treat the root cause of the illness. Rather than eliminating the underlying cause of the disease, these chemicals may only temporarily reduce symptoms or change the expression of the disease without fully restoring health.
Genetically modified foods. Genetically modified foods cause cancer because genetically modified foods are a result of the DNA of two species being spliced together. For instance, the DNA of an Atlantic salmon with the DNA of a tomato spliced together in the hope that a tomato will be created that will grow in the snow. But actually they don't usually result in that, and there's this huge grey area. They do not know the full effect on human beings, but what is known is the substances that are broken down in the body after eating genetically modified foods are not known in the body and have the ability to tamper and even damage our DNA. Electromagnetic field excess. We are electrical people. We have a spark of electricity in every cell. Our nervous system specifically is our electrical system. Electromagnetic field has the ability to tamper or interfere with your electromagnetic field, causing damage at the cellular level, even at the DNA level. In humans, they are 10 hertz. That's the electromagnetic field in humans. And that's, I think it's 10 revolutions per second. And with huge power lines, you often get a 50 hertz, and it's well known to cause damage at the cellular level. The farmer knows that he cannot let his cattle graze under those huge towers because stillborns will be a result, even deformities in the little calves. My children used to like going up to the huge towers. It was about 1 kilometre away from where we lived when they were little, or when they were adolescent, and they would find everlasting daisies with 5 centres. They would find all this mutation in plant life underneath these big electrical towers. So if these towers have the ability to tamper with the DNA of plants and the DNA of animals, what about the DNA of humans? Absolutely. It was never allowed that houses could be built under those huge towers, but I see in housing states today they're there, and they are a contributing factor to damage of the DNA, even to contributing to disease in the human body. Be very careful of the room that you're sleeping in. We spend a third of our life in that room. Be careful of any electrical equipment in your room. Don't charge your mobile phone in your bedroom, or your iPhone, iPad, iPod, computer, television. If you've got no choice, try and do it way over in the far corner. So always address where you're sleeping. Even where the head of your bed is, the wall. Make sure there's not the meter box the other side of the wall. Also, stimulants. Stimulants have the ability to tamper with your DNA, and as I go through this, you will see what I mean by this. One is sugar. We have 400 diabetics being diagnosed every day in Australia at the moment. That's an epidemic. Sugar was not known on the planet until diabetes was not known on the planet till sugar was well established. Hippocrates has no mention of diabetes in his literature. What does sugar do? How does it cause diabetes? It causes a massive blood sugar level rise, and then the pancreas has to respond with a massive amount of insulin to get that blood sugar level down again. And then the person usually goes too low, and so they go and get another little bit of sugar. And so what they're often doing, you'll find that their blood sugars are like this all day long. The pancreas just says, I've had enough, and it doesn't produce insulin anymore. Diabetes mellitus simply means sweet urine. So when the pancreas isn't releasing insulin, then the insulin can't be stored in the cell, it stays in the blood and it spills out into the urine. In Australia today, we're looking at about 4th generation sugar abuse. Granted, many people don't realise they're abusing sugar, but it is a highly addictive drug, and I will be showing you that as we go through this series. Caffeine interferes with the neurotransmitters in the brain, and when the neurotransmitters in the brain are being interfered with daily, every day, coffee, Coke, then that couple can give birth to a baby who has a tendency or a susceptibility to mental illness because of the disruption in neurotransmitters that constantly happening begins to affect the DNA. I have a book called Lessons from Water by a Japanese scientist, and he did a lot of research on water. Now, when you put water under a microscope, it has the same shapes that snow has. And he found that when he shouted at the water, had heavy rock music, anger, violence, and then he'd look at the water under the microscope and the perfect forms would all be marred. And then he would do another experiment where he had classical music and love, joy, peace, even those words. What he found amazing was if he put the word hate on the jar that the water was, it marred them. If you put the word love on the jar where the water was, it didn't mar them at all. Interesting. And we are much water. We are 75% water from the neck down, 85% water from the neck up. And so when a person is constantly subjected to anger and violence, it can damage the cells to the point of even damaging the DNA. Now, if you're feeling very discouraged right now at this list because you may tick every box, I've got some very good news. When you stop the things that are causing the problems, very quickly the body starts to respond and starts to heal itself.
Barbara O'Neill also points out that yeast is the ultimate cause of disease. In nature, fungi can attach to the DNA of many plants. Fungi are microorganisms, extremely small, and present everywhere, from the air, skin, clothing, to the environment around us. They even exist in the human body, with the highest concentration in the digestive tract, where there are 10 times as many cells as in the entire body. When cells are damaged, these microorganisms can change roles and become garbage collectors to clean up dead cells. When the internal environment of the body changes, these microorganisms can shift from being collectors to being exterminators, such as yeast and mold. People living in damp environments should avoid it, and smokers need to quit smoking. Antibiotics should only be used in emergencies to save lives. To support the body in its self-healing process, we need to remove the main causes of disease from our lives. These include mineral deficiencies, toxic chemicals, genetically modified foods, electromagnetic fields, stimulants such as sugar, caffeine, tobacco, and alcohol. Additionally, managing emotions such as anger and limiting exposure to mold are also crucial for maintaining health. Barbara O'Neill particularly emphasizes the role of the gut microbiome. Beneficial microorganisms in the gut are essential for supporting intestinal cells and protecting the intestinal lining. They help improve nutrient absorption and protect the body from pathogens.
And heal the gut of human beings. One is aloe vera and the other is slippery elm. Slippery elm is the powdered bark of the slippery elm tree. And it's a good name because when you put water with it, it looks fairly slippery. Both of these herbs can be used. In fact, I advised a week on this one, a week on that one, a week on this one, because the body gets used to things. In Psalm 104, verse 14, the Bible says, God gave herbs for the service of man. I love that verse because it's as if herbs come in and say, where would you like me? Where can I go? And when the aloe vera goes into the gut, it coats, soothes the lining of the gut, but it also contains a growth stimulant, and it stimulates rapid healing in these cells that can rapidly respond because they're remade every 3 to 5 days. Slippery elm also contains a growth stimulant. So both of those herbs contain growth stimulants that have the ability to come in and begin healing this gut. Because this gap in the microflora in the gut, it causes these cells to lack nourishment because this flora here nourishes the cells that line this gut. So you can almost put a little happy face on these cells, but these cells here you can put a very unhappy face because they're not receiving any nourishment. Can you start to see why someone with gut problems is having trouble healing? Because they're not given the right conditions. When the right conditions are given to the human gut, it can heal.
To understand the issue, you need to approach it like a detective. If you don't identify the root cause, you will never be able to stop fixing the problem. It's like not being able to stop mopping if you don't turn off the water first. Our bodies have an innate ability to heal themselves, and they will recover when we provide the right conditions. Thank you for joining me on this journey to better health. Remember, taking care of your DNA is the key to long-term health and disease prevention. If you found this information useful, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any valuable videos in the future. See you in the next video.